What is up, guys? Welcome back to this channel, and today we're going to rank every Loki episode so far. And so far, I'd say I really enjoyed the show. I think it was great. To be honest, you can go check out my review right here and my Marvel playlist. Not much to say, but let's get started with the ranking. Yeah, easily in last place, we have episode 3, Lamentus. This is easily my least favorite. This one episode is the only one I'd say I'd give it under a 7.5 out of 10. Overall, it was just alright. There are things I did enjoy. I loved that one shot near the end of the episode. I think the beginning of the episode was quite good, but with some of the action, but the way it resolved the cliffhanger from episode 2, it didn't even feel like it had anything to do with this. And honestly, my biggest problem here, the relationship between Loki and Sylvie, they have no chemistry in this episode whatsoever. Episode 4 is when they start to have a bit more chemistry, and I think it works, but here they just have none. And this is where you feel the Loki variant, you don't even feel any intimidation by her. She doesn't even feel like a threat anymore. This is where you learn that the TVA is bad. That's some of the stuff I like. When you have a lot of the TVA stuff, I did like a bit more than the Loki and Loki stuff. And overall, I did enjoy this episode quite a bit. But I don't think it was a great episode involving the TV show. But I think it's a good standalone episode, but not a good Loki episode for the show. Coming in at number 5, we have episode 5, Journey into Mystery. This one is fun because of all the Loki variants. It plays around with that croaky, boastful Loki, original Loki, kid Loki, President Loki, a bunch of other Lokis too. They're all pretty fun. But this episode's a fun little detour into the prune world at the end of time, and I think that's really cool. My one problem with it is that episode 4 left a huge cliffhanger and a bunch of stuff that I think that should have been resolved pretty soon with a ton of intrigue and all of that stuff. This episode kind of took a pass from that and really just didn't do much. I wish it did a bit more. A lot of the Lion stuff was pretty cool. The sacrifice of original Loki was amazing. It was great. And overall, I really like this episode. I don't really have any problems with it, except for the fact, same with episode 3, as a part of this TV show, it's a little odd, but as an episode of fun Loki stuff, it was great, and I really enjoyed this episode, to be honest. I'd give it a 7.8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Coming in number 4, we have episode 1, Glory's Purpose. The 4 and 3 are kind of tied. My problem with this one is that I feel I wish it kind of did a little bit more, but it got to the show to a perfect start. I don't think it did anything wrong. I just don't enjoy it as much as the top 3. My problem with it overall, it shows a bunch of stuff with Loki. A lot of the stuff with those scenes there were great. Owen Wilson was a ton of fun this episode. This episode introducing us to this idea of the TVA was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed this episode overall. But as a pilot to the TV show, I think this is the best of all of the first episodes on the show. Falcon and Winter Soldier I do think was better than the WandaVision one. But I just think it got us to a good start, that action sequence. Everything else in the episode was just alright. But overall, I think the WandaVision one kind of just threw us in this world, and we didn't really know what was going on, so it kind of hampered the episode down a bit. But overall, I do really like this episode. I think it's a great pilot to the show, or just season premiere. And I love how it takes right into this TVA world. It explains everything that we need to know about the time. It is kind of complex, but it works because of all the ideas it's been setting up. And I think I really like this episode. Coming in at number 3, we have episode 6, For All Time, always, or For All Time. I really like that little jump scare with Miss Minutes. I thought that was a pretty good scene. Really like the whole time guy. I don't remember his name, but let me know in the comments below. But I really like this episode for the way it kind of concluded the season. It wasn't that satisfying. That's my one problem with it. And I didn't like how they were what they did with Sylvie. But the highs of the episode go quite high. And overall, really enjoyed the time guy with his little antics and what he does. And the way he can predict things, the way he wrote time, the way it ends up. And I think this is going to tie into, I heard it's going to tie into Ant-Man Quantumania, Doctor Strange 2, Loki Season 2, and Spider-Man No Way Home. And I think the character is definitely going to appear. I think he's going to be a really fun character throughout other projects of the MCU, and I'm really excited to see what happens. But the episode, it's really just a ton of talk scenes, and then stuff over at the TVA, which isn't all that exciting. But overall, doesn't matter, I still really enjoy this episode, nonetheless. And I think this is a great episode. Definitely worthy of the top 3 spot. I noticed that top 3, the even episodes are in the top 3, and then the odd episodes are 4, 5, and 6. Coming in number 2, these top 2 I think are both great episodes. Coming in number 2, we got episode 2, The Variant. This episode, just amazing. I really love what it did with the whole apocalypse situation, how it explained everything, even deeper than the first episode did, introducing us to the Loki variant, aka Sylvie. We didn't know that at the time. And then the cliffhanger it left us on, I think was great. I wish it was resolved better. I think if it was resolved better, this could have been number 1. But for now, it's number 2. The way they treat the TVA worked really well in this episode. And I think this episode was great. And I think this is definitely one of my favorite Disney Plus episodes so far. Coming in at number 1, we got episode 4, The Nexus Event. To be honest, the whole Timekeepers twist thing really worked for me. I really enjoyed everything involving that and in the whole Timekeepers room. And overall, this episode was just really cool. The way it ended on when they were on a Lamentus was really cool. Mobius is also a great character. How he turned and realized that all the people that are part of the TVA are all variants. Love that little reveal near the end, and man, this episode and then it leaves us also on a great cliffhanger with after Loki got pruned. I wish episode 5 kind of resolved it a little bit better, but it's okay. And overall, this is definitely my favorite episode of the show. And I think WandaVision and Loki, I think the middle part of the show, where it's where you have to turn and all of these crazy events start to happen. And I think this is probably the best example of that so far of the 3 shows. And honestly, I think this is a great episode. And it is number 1. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios.